What's up, everyone? Welcome back to After the Storm. This is the Canes game review for game number 36 of the season, a 7-1 win for the Carolina Hurricanes. In introing this game, I was going to bring up the whole Brad Marchand and the Prius versus Lamborghini thing he made up. I don't remember what his exact words were. However, we're not going to really address that because there's other important things, and Brad Marchand is not important. This game, we have Frederik Andersen at one end facing off against Tuukka Rask, who's playing just his second game, or start, I should say, back since signing with the Bruins as a free agent halfway through the season. The only notable lineup change for the Carolina Hurricanes in this one, Martin Necas onto COVID protocol. So Derek Stepan draws back into the lineup. Otherwise, no lineup changes for the Canes. Bear still healthy scratch. Smith stays in for him. But let's get to the most important aspect of this game, and it's Willie O'Ree night in Boston. And if you're watching this, you're probably a bit of a hardcore hockey fan, so I'm not going to take too much time to explain what Willie O'Ree is, or who he is, I should say. But what he is a trailblazer in hockey, and set the ability for people of color in a time when people of color were not really able to or allowed to, I should really phrase that properly, play professional sports. And in some regard, just like Jackie Robinson, he's a bit of a trailblazer in that method of people of color see the story of Willie O'Ree and have the desire to play in the NHL. Guys, I think lots of guys talked, and one of the most notable ones, active, current NHLer Ryan Reeves was in the tribute video. Another one was, pulling his jersey up to the rafters was Anson Carter. So even though I think his career only lasted about 45 games, he has had an immeasurable impact on the game of hockey, and for a sport that continues to struggle, not just in the realm of racism, but a main one there. His ability to inspire and lead is the change we really want to see in hockey going forward. And honestly, it was something I was talking about with the person I was watching the game with, before the game started, is I would really hope that the NHL takes a page out of the playbook of the MLB, and I know the MLB's got its own issues, but I would really hope that something like what the MLB does with Jackie Robinson Day in MLB, where all the teams that play take the numbers, or the names rather, off the back of the jersey and replace it with number 42. I wouldn't mind seeing that with the NHL and Willie O'Ree every year, or every one game every team plays in one season, and that game is Willie O'Ree game, or Willie O'Ree day or night in hockey, and everybody wears number 22 without their names on the back. Again, just want to talk about that off the top. Let's go ahead and get into the action of the game. Pretty early on, a chance from the Canes, and puck comes back. Jacob Slavin, no-look pass over to Teuvo Teravainen, one-timer on his offside. Past Rask, it is a 1-0 Carolina. And shortly after that goal, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, a nice shift where he chips the puck in, kind of just follows it himself, creating an opportunity. Off the bench comes Svechnikov, a shot, rebound to Kotkaniemi, and he tucks it beautifully past Rask. It is 2-0 early on for Carolina. Rask would then make a couple of huge saves. One off of Steven Lorentz, who ended up with a chance from Stahl feeding him below the goal line. The other off of a breakaway for Sebastian Aho. A short one, but he tried to open up his 5-hole. Big stop by Rask, keeping his team in it. Svechnikov takes the first penalty of the game, an interference on a reverse hit. I didn't really like the call too much. It's definitely some, a call to take a second look at. Not. He didn't really have the puck. But it also seems like it's just Svechnikov, and that's the reason why Svechnikov is why this penalty happens. It's just, it's Svechnikov, and you can't do that thing you do well, So we're going to call it a penalty. So Boston goes to the power play. The Canes looking to set the franchise record for 36 consecutive penalty kills. And on this power play, Bergeron with a nice tip in front. It is 2-1. The penalty kill streak comes to an end at 35, unfortunately. But this would pretty much be the last time the Bruins were really in this game. Because right after Jacob Slavin shot, scores, Rask looks brutal, and the Canes are going to start running away with this one. Sorry, I said Slavin. I have it written down as Slavin initially because I was initially reacting to it. It was Kotkaniemi with a beautiful tip-off with a Slavin pass, or shot rather, in front. And a weird scrum ends up happening at the two benches. And somehow Clifton's the only one who gets a penalty out of it. Very, very strange. I mean, personally, I thought it was very strange. I'm used to everybody getting a penalty out of this, or at least two guys, or Svechnikov somehow, but just Connor Clifton, Canes to the power play. Boston would kill that one off, but shortly after, Seth Jarvis with somehow a power forward move comes across, protects the puck, brings it as a right-hander on the left side, driving the net, brings it back to his forehand, chips it past Tuukka Rask. It is 4-1, Carolina looking dominant in this game. And almost immediately right after, Martinook, a good shift, gets into the zone, feeds the puck on a backhand to Derek Stepan in front. Stepan makes no mistake, tucks it inside the post on Rask. Rask almost giving up halfway through, coming across on this play as well. 5-1 Carolina. It is an absolute blowout on Willie O'Ree night. And opening up the second period, Tuukka Rask out after the first. Brendan Smith takes a penalty. Boston to their second power play of the game. And the Carolina power kill, I should really call it, picks back up where they left off just after giving up that goal. Kills this one off pretty easily. Aho takes a high sticking call, sending Boston to their third power play of the game. And then on that power play, Pasternak driving the zone, trying to get the line, get some possession in the zone. He gets tripped up by Ian Cole. 5-on-3 for the Bruins. Freddie with two big stops on Pasternak. Carolina kills off both penalties. And that is how the second period would end. 5-1 still the score. Carolina looking dominant as ever. But Boston's starting to get their footing a little bit in this game. Get some chances. But nothing is getting past Frederik Andersen. Opening up the third period, though, Boston heads to their fifth power play of the game. Trocheck to the box. McAvoy takes a penalty, sending us to some 4-on-4. Carolina gets their second power play of the game, and on that power play, the short abbreviated one after Trocheck comes out of the box, Slavin with a snipe. 6-1 Carolina. Former Carolina Hurricane Eric Haula, who is, it seems like it's kind of dissipated now, but he was pretty hated by Carolina and the fans and everything last season. He takes a high sticking penalty, Carolina to their third power play of the game. Aho with a chance, brings the puck back around the net, all marked there, and it kind of gets centered. I'm not sure who scored this goal, if it was Trocheck or if it was Svechnikov. It looks like it goes to Trocheck. Nevertheless, 7-1 is the score. Purdue will make a couple more big stops in this one, and that is how the game would end. It is a 7-1 huge victory, and something, before I get into the player analysis portion of this, which will be quick as well. One thing I'd stress is, in the two Florida games, and I want to say there's a couple other games this season so far that, playing against top teams, maybe it was the Toronto game, which they did incredibly well in. But what I've really been asking for from this team is when we start playing these top tier teams, and Boston is one of them. You lost to them in the playoffs. They're always a dangerous team, and they're a team that knows how to win, is to really deliver in those games. And you know what? In a game where there's a long pregame ceremony and all that kind of stuff, it is tough to get starts in those games. And in this one, Carolina started on time and they never relented. What a huge, huge victory. So on to the player analysis part. We'll run through it really quick. Good, everyone. Nobody had a bad game. Average, no one. Didn't think anybody even had an average game. I thought that was probably the best game of the season overall. Bad, no one, of course. That was, again, like I said, probably one of the best games, if not the best, of the season. And a Bruins player to highlight, Patrice Bergeron, just seemingly ageless in this league. He's fantastic. He was the one Bruins forward who I thought was really on his game in this one and just didn't really get a lot of help from anybody else. So if that's the player I'm going to highlight, it's going to be the captain of the Bruins, who had, despite his team around him, a very good game. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it. There wasn't a whole lot to go over with this game, of course. I am looking to probably at some point in March end up with a video kind of outlining maybe some plans for the trade deadline for the Carolina Hurricanes. I want to do a separate video. I don't know if I've even done one so far, but it looks like as some stuff is starting to come up, there's been some rumors that Carolina's in on Chychrun, but I think I saw the price today, and that's absolutely ridiculous, and there's no way Carolina's paying that. But they've also been rumored to be interested in John Klingberg and all that sort of stuff. So I will likely do some stuff that's been reported on and also some stuff I'd like to see personally. Usually when the Canes are kind of this quiet, something happens and they usually make a big splash. Like, I mean, a couple of seasons ago now, it was the big Brady Shea and all that. So, I'm going to do a video, not sure when exactly, probably as close to the trade deadline as I can get, but it will come at some point, and we'll get a video out and talk about some potential moves this team will make. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video today, give it a thumbs up down below. Hit that subscribe button as well. Helps me out considerably. Get these videos as soon as they upload if you hit that notification bell next to it. As always, guys, I will catch you on the next one.